All right, I want to welcome everybody to this live trading session. This is JRock, your host. Welcome to everybody from around the world. I know we've got people in different countries, and we've got some special guests on the line as well. I've got my team that has piled into this room tonight, and we're almost at max capacity. I can only hold 100, and I want to welcome some special guests that have joined recently with iMarkets Live and what we are doing. I appreciate you guys taking that leap of faith. Welcome, Kenneth, also from Puerto Rico. Good to have you on board, bud. And I don't know, your screen name is crazy, but you're from Scotland, 1:10 a.m. Kudos to you, my friend. Also have my friends Wendy and Linton from California. Welcome on the line. These guys are doing great things, helping a lot of people, and they are learning to trade like the professionals. So hopefully we can get everybody trading. If Chris Terry can make $90 million trading Forex, and I made $1.2 million trading penny stocks, friend, anything is possible. If you have the right strategy, you employ principled and strategic, the rules, you employ them every single trade. You don't get ahead of yourself. You quit trying to kill the game. Take your time. Be conservative. You will make money. Welcome to Bruno from Peru, Jaco, South Africa, Sparks, Nevada. Welcome, Caleb. I'll get your DVD out to you tomorrow, Caleb. I've been real busy. Nigeria, welcome, guys. All right, Costa Rica. Axel, I need to come to Costa Rica next. Jamaica, me crazy. Arthurine, welcome. UK, you guys, man, all around the world. What exciting times we live in with the technology. Georgia and Denver, yes. Exciting times we live with the technology to be able to connect with people from all around the world. And I tell you what, great things are coming. I've never seen anything like this with iMarkets Live and the team concept, helping each other. Man, we are helping each other grow in understanding, in wisdom, in spirituality, in character training. My God, this is a phenomenon. And I'm just excited to be a part of it. Welcome, Ross from Trinidad, Durban, South Africa. My friend Kenyon just signed up with iMarkets Live from South Africa. What a blessing. Yes, absolutely. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get started looking. And I was with my brother and sister over the weekend. I did a seminar in Kansas City and then in St. Louis with Blake Carter, a young man, 19 years old. Man, I mean, I am just blessed to know that young man. He really touched me. He inspired me to be a better person, to be more of a blessing to be more of a blessing to everybody, because he has, he explained, he gave a little testimony about his struggle, that he has a disorder, and people look down upon him and they mock him, and different struggles that he's had growing up because he can't grow beyond where he's at as physically. So he is a small guy. He's 19, but he's passed up. He's got a very youthful look, and it's he could work out for a year and he won't gain any muscle. So it's very disheartening and discouraging. But iMarkets Live has made him become a visionary and see the potential and the blessings that he's seen from it. It's caused him to say, you know what, I can be somebody. He was even working for Chick-fil-A and passed over for the management job, even though a very smart individual and hard work ethic, very good character and personality. And they passed him up a couple times for the management position. And he finally just said, you know what, I'm out, because they said something to him like, he just didn't look old enough to be a manager, even though he was 19. So he left that and he came on board with iMarkets Live, and his life has turned around. He has been recruiting people left and right, sharing the vision, and just to sit down and watch him share and teach others from a heart of passion. I tell you what, anybody can do this. Anybody. So you just got to change your thought process, be positive, and choose to be different. Anybody can learn. This is a multi-million-dollar skill set. Anybody can learn, and to be able to share it with others that they can come and learn. You can't not do it. Absolutely. IML is a true gift from God. I believe that. So sitting down and talking with my brother and sister about the trading, and we looked at a couple different pairs, and I went through to teach them. And where I started was with the pound Australia, which is this crazy pair right here. Now it's coming down a little bit. You know, we might be channeling here. We may pop up, but I'm going to take you through the progression, and then let's see if we can get into a trade, if the market will start moving with us. We're in the twilight zone when not a lot of liquidity that has come into the market yet. You can make a little bit of money, but it's not really happening. It'll probably start happening around midnight. Let's see. In about 5 hours, as we approach the London session, liquidity is really going to start coming into the market. And that's when things are going to happen. So what I do is I analyze the chart, and I'm actually working with Wendy and Linton to try to create a new strategy that's more for beginners to help people. And my sister even complained that I talk too doctorish even on my live trading sessions, and I don't break it down as easy as you guys need it to be explained because I'm so far beyond changing diapers and daycare service. I just have a very difficult time doing it. Even trading 0.10 lot is very nauseating to me, but I try. So I'm going to try to work on a strategy with some more of my beginners and those people that understand what it takes to be successful and to bring people in where they see they can make a little bit of money here and there based on some simple strategies. We're going to call it a beginner strategy. And I have some ideas. I've seen some things. I know what works, even though I prefer to capture more of the longer move of a trend, 50 to 100. And so when people would say, your scalp is 50 pips, that's not a scalp. Well, when I'm looking for 200 pips, well, yeah, a scalp is 50 pips. But you guys are looking for 2, 5, and 10 pip scalps. Well, I could do that all day. Not a problem. I could rack off 100 winning trades with 2 to 10 pips. That's not a problem. So if y'all want 2 to 10 pips, we're going to work on that. We're going to put a strategy together that's going to make it work for you. And it's going to be easy that you can understand. Now, what I got here is a monthly chart. I have my moving average lines that are on this screen. And this is a real account with LMFX that I have here. And you see I have multiple lines on my screen. A lot of it, I'm just going to take off the 20. Let me find that 20 real quick. Yeah, that's it right there. I'm going to take off the 20. I would take off the 34, but I'm going to leave that. So 5, 10, 100, 200, 34, and 5. Okay. I took off my Bollinger Bands. I got the RSI down at the bottom to try to give you a little idea. But the reason let me just do this. I'm going to take this 34 off of this screen, and I'm going to show you what's up. Why moving averages are important. Actually, let me do one more thing, and I'm going to take off this. I'm going to take off the 50. I'm going to take that one off right there. Just to show you what's up. So I've got the 5, 10, the 100, and the 200. The 5 and the 10 are my light blue and my orange line that are closer to the candles. This smooth light blue line that goes across the middle of your screen, that is the 100 period moving average. And the red line is your 200 period moving average. So they are your major moving averages. I'm going to make some videos, 5-minute videos to teach you minor moving averages, intermediate moving averages, major moving averages, how they work, and how they how the currency pairs move in relation to the moving averages. Well, right now, if we look at the pound Australia, which is the pair I'm analyzing, and you see that on your chart, a lot of people just think, you know, if I took all the rest of these lines off, they say it's going up. It's going to keep going up. Well, I say it's going to go down. Why is it going to go down? Because I'm going to add a moving average called the 50 period moving average. When I add that moving average, look what happens. It came right across the top of my screen where these candles are at. That is your overhead resistance. Moving averages provide support and resistance. You don't have to draw a bunch of lines on the chart. All you need are moving averages. They show you support and resistance. And that's what I'm trying to teach people. They say, oh, you got too many lines on your screen. It's so confusing and hard to read. Well, if you go through the academy and you start learning strategies and you saying, well, the basic thing is to draw horizontal lines of support and resistance, and then draw diagonal lines to show channel trends and resistance, then throw a Fibonacci in there, then throw some pitchfork. You got that chart all marked up and crazy. I couldn't understand your chart. But with moving averages, they're pretty simple. It's just lines that show you support and resistance based on candle movements. And moving averages are what professional traders use. They are the way they determine support and resistance. They also use a couple other things like Fibonacci retracement and buy and sell, demand, and supply zones. So moving averages will help you determine, for the most part, I would say 90% plus accuracy of where a pair is going to stop or start, where it's going to reverse or find support or resistance. Now, in this last month, you see that the second from the last candle, it went through the purple line. Momentum will often take it through a moving average, but it's not where it wicks, it's where it closes. So if you're trading conservatively, you're looking for the reversal and confirmation on that reversal. A lot of times what I do is I try to time a top or a bottom, and that's why I get in early, because I'm timing it right on the moving average when, I know it's going to wick. I've only been trading Forex since June of last year. I traded stocks and options for 20 years, penny stocks, etc. And Forex moves a lot differently from regular stocks and options. Forex is crazy. It is stocks and options on steroids. They move these things very violently up and down. That's why you got to get in and you got to get out. It's very rare that it's going to run and keep running and not come back. It'll have a slight pullback, but those do not happen very often. You've got to get in, ride it up, get out, and ride it back down. I want you to learn how to move your stop loss into profit and manage that trade where you keep moving your stop loss along when that trade is running or falling. You keep moving that stop loss so that you lock in that profit. Because if you put a take profit, then what if it goes 100 pips beyond that take profit? Well, I want to teach you how to let your profit run. The way you do that is move your stop loss along with your trade. And if you have a desktop application, it doesn't work in MetaTrader 4 app, but a desktop application of MetaTrader will allow you to do a trailing stop loss to follow that trade. Now, what you see here is that the month is telling me we are potentially going to fall. We are going to drop because we are at resistance. Where are we going to drop to on GA? We are going to possibly come all the way back here to 178.50 on the month. Wow, JRock, that's a long way. Yeah, it sure is. It's 500 points. Well, if you look at where I put my line, my crosshairs right here, I put it right there almost on top of that 5-period moving average, the 5-month moving average, which is that light blue line right here. That light blue line right there. That's your 5-period moving average, called a 5MA. This orange line right there is your 10MA, 10-period moving average. It depends on what time frame you're in to what you call it. So we're in the month time frame, so it's the 5-month moving average, the 10-month moving average. If I go to the week time frame, it's the 5-week moving average, the 10-week moving average. It's taking the last 5 candles and it's figuring the closing price, the average of the closing price, putting a dot. The 10 is figuring the last 10 candles closing price, averaging them together, dividing by 10 and putting a dot. That's how you get moving averages. I'll make videos to explain all of this so you can watch it over and over and over again. But that's basically what I'm saying. When you have a strong trending pair, it gets up on top of the 5 and 10 and it rides all the way up. Well, if you have a moving average like the 100 right there, we found resistance. So when we got to it, we found some resistance and came back down to the 10. Then we ran all the way up, came down, and we sat on the 10. Let's back some of that up here so you can see. Actually, let's clear that out. So we broke above the 5 and 10 here. We came to resistance at the 100. We broke up. we probably came down and rested on the 10 and then shot all the way up. Then the next month we opened, went up a little bit, and then we came all the way down and set right on top of the 5 right there. Then we traded over here. And what I say is, anytime a longer time frame candle, H1, H4, day, week, or month, anytime a longer time frame candle is about to start or opens, it always goes the other way first before it comes way down. So it puts in wick at the top, then it'll come down and put a lower wick, and then it'll come up and close. So it opens and it goes the opposite way first on a longer time frame. It's not always, it's not set in stone, but I'm telling you that it happens the majority of the time. If you want to take high probability trades, then you go with what I'm telling you, that 99% of the time it's going the opposite way first. And what you're going to do when that starts going the opposite way first, you're setting up for a reversal, setting up for sells, so that when it comes down, you are going to make money. It's very rare that it opens up and it keeps running. Now here's the next stage. You've got to look at the trend, the longer time frame trend. So here, when we opened up right there, we came back, we opened up, we closed right here on that green candle. We opened up right there on that green candle on the bottom. Well, it came down first and it touched that 5-period moving average. Then it shot up and then it came back down. What goes up must come down. Well, the next candle opened, it faked out like it was going to come down and we were going to break all the way back down to the 10. Then it turned and it ran all the way up here. Actually, all the way up here. Then it came back and closed. We opened and we went up here. And now we're getting ready to come all the way back down. So we've gone up first and we're getting ready to come down. So it always, almost always, let me stop using always and never because those are not good to use. But the overwhelming majority of the time, the pair is going to go the opposite direction for a little bit. Now on the month time frame, it could go 100 to 200 pips the other way first because it's a longer time frame. Okay? Now, if I were to put my crosshair on this, I'm just going to show you. Sorry, open that up here. Now, at the top, you see my crosshair is on there, on that candle. Well, at the top here, you have the numbers O, H, L, C. That means open, high, low, close. That's the prices of each candle. So if I'm on the last candle right here, I'm looking at the open price was 82.25. I'm not going to count that last number because that's a micro pip. I barely ever look at that. I just look at the 3 numbers from the end. After you scratch out that last number, just look at the 3 numbers. So I'm at 225. Well, where did I go when it opened? The high was 367. That's 137 points that we have gone up from the open, and we're getting ready to come back. And you say, where are we coming back to? I already told you right here, 78.350. That means from where we're at all the way down, we're going to be at 83.35 down to 73. What did I say? 78. 35, because I'm not counting that last number right there. So 78.35, you subtract that, you're you're going to get about 500 points from where we're at. That's a good chunk of change. If you're in at a 0.10 lot, that means you're making $1 per pip times 500. That's going to be $500. Let your profit run. If you want to scalp and get out when because when it's coming down, it'll come like this, all like that, maybe come up here, and then by the end of the month, it closes down here. But it's had all kind of crazy movements while it's going down there. All right, let me clear that out so you get the point of what I'm trying to make. It's going to go the opposite way generally. Majority of the time, you can almost bank on it. But on a longer time frame, you got to expect that it's going to go 100 to 200 or 300 points in the opposite direction before you set up for the reversal. But it doesn't always happen. You've got to look at the trend because If we were, let me just say one more thing right here, and then I'll move to the next time frame. If this 5-period moving average right here was up here like that, and we were squeezed in like that, friend, we are going straight up, and we will probably go up 500 points and not come back. So it may only wick 10 to 15, 20 points on the next candle, then we're going up, and you will get caught. You will need stop loss or whatever. Make sure that you do not get caught in that 500-point move. You blow your account. So it all depends on where you're at in the trend. This would be a squeezing in of a flag and pennant pattern. And once you get that, you're going to have a monster pop, just like we had right here. Let me squeeze that in and show you. So show you right on this chart. This is a monthly time frame. And here's your flagpole. And then here's your pennant pattern. Just like that. Look at what that candle did. It popped and it has not come back. Now this month, it may take a month to come back, but it is going to come back. I am pretty doggone sure about that. Now let's go to the week time frame. So the month time frame says we're going to be selling. The week time frame just started. Well, what did it do when it started this week? It jumped up because I can see that wick right in there. It's a little tough to see, but you can see it right there. That wick right there. It just went up a little bit. It didn't come quite to the red line. It still could. I don't think it will. It could come all the way up here. I don't think it will. I hope not, because I'm in some sells, as you see. But if you look here, I got a buy stop right there to protect me at that yellow line in case it breaks out and decides to run all the way up here. I have a buy stop to head in my sell positions that I have already in place, because I'm not going to let this trade get away from me. Now, on the week time frame, it's saying that we could go to right here. What is that? 82.73. Well, if we do not break down below that this week, right here, what is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen if we do not break down below 82.73, which is about 27 and 40, 67 points down from where we're at right now, 67 pips. I'm sorry. Got to quit saying points. Stop technology. Stop terminology. All right. So what are we going to do if we do not break down below that 5 on the week? This is the 5-week moving average. So the 5-week moving average, there's your 10-week moving average. Well, if we fail to break down below this, boom, we're gone. We are going to break up. So in my sells, where I'm at right now, I am going to bring my stop loss down, 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 down as we are falling to lock in my profit. Now, as I said, on the longer time frame, I think I said 78.350, which is probably about right there, 78.35. The month time frame says we could come down to there. You know, we could shoot up and then next week come all the way down to here. No telling, because there's your high point right there on that last when we hit 85, 1.85 right here on this candle. So that's your upper resistance line. If I draw a line straight across right there, there's your resistance. So we could go back up there, put in a double top, and then fall on the same week and come all the way down here, or next week come all the way down here, or the week after. We don't know. I'm hoping that it's this week, because I want to make a monster play off of GA to come all the way. Actually, it would be 78.35. So your month time frame would be way down here. And here's what you can do. On your MetaTrader, we're going to go back to the month. And this is what I showed some others to do. You're going to get a horizontal line and you're going to park it right there. So all I did was I just slapped that horizontal line. If you put it in the wrong spot, just move it. When you see the 2 circles on the outside over here, the line of the red on the outside, that means you can move it. Okay? So you sit right there and then you tap that line and that locks it in. You tap it again, you can move it. So I'm going to put it right there on that spot, tap that line, lock it in place. Go back to the week. Here we are on the week. Where is that at? Way down there. Well, if I squeeze that in, wow, look at that. Look at that. And this is what I showed people today. what do you see that stands out to you with that red line going across? Anybody in the chat room? Anybody? What do you see that stands out to you with that red line going across? It is support. Very good, Royal Cash. Appreciate you. Support. Byron Lopez. Adam, yes. Old, now it is new support, so it was resistance, because this was resistance pounding that all right here. And then boom, look at that breakout candle. That's what's called a breakout, and it did not come back. So if you would have tried to sell it thinking it was going to hit the high, it did not come back, and it still hadn't come back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks later. And that was, what was that price at? Call it 7,900, and it went all the way up to 8,500. That went up 600 points. You would have been smoked. And I think I did get smoked on a couple trading that pair when it got away from me a couple weeks ago. It kept running, and I didn't expect it to run that far, and it ran all the way up here to 185. Well, you've got to be ready. You've got to expect the unexpected. All right. That red line I put in there is from the MT4 app. Yes, right in the middle of the screen. Touch the flywheel, circle right here, circle, square, triangle. Brings up, you got to push the plus in the top corner by the garbage can, and then it brings up all of your options. You find your Fibonacci retracement in there, your Elliott wave, you want to do shapes. Well, I used a horizontal line right at the top, and I clicked on it. This is all being recorded, so you'll have it in the channel later on in JRock channel. All right. Now, we have solid support. So the likelihood of this coming back down before it powers through that 200-week moving average is very good. I like my chances of it to break down and come down over the next week or 2 weeks. I don't know how long it will take. It could happen this week. 1 week it could drop all that way. And then we'll jump back on top of the 5, and then pow, we pop right through and go up to 87 or 88. Once we pop, we're going 3, 5, 600 pips. So this is where you want to get in if it does come down to 78.40. I would be loving that action. But you want to be careful that it doesn't fall all the way down here to your 50 or your 100. You've always got to expect the unexpected. Now, let's go on to the day chart. Day chart gapped down and wicked up first. So what did I tell you? A lot of times where it starts and it moves up, then it's going to come back down and go the other way. So the chances of this coming back down on the day chart are very good. Where could it go to on the day chart? Support right across there. Change colors here. So that's my support right there. We could come all the way right back down here. Then the 5 would have to wrap around in the 10, and then we'd trade up and then maybe drop down. And here's the 50 coming across. Well, here's your support line. So we could come all the way down here over the next several days this week and then come down to here. That's the great potential. I know I'm spending a lot of time on this pair. I'm just trying to analyze it for you right now so that you see how I go through the progression. Now, let's go to the H4 time frame. Looks good. Where do we have support on H4? Right here. 83, right on the 54-hour candle moving average. That 50-period moving average, we're on the H4 chart, so it's 50 4-hour candles at 83. We're at 83.35 right now, so it's got a little support, 35 points down. You want to get out there, that's your business. But I also see the potential of lower highs and lower lows. What am I talking about? Right here, you got a high point, got a low point. Got high points, low point. Putting in a high point right here, almost like a double top or a triple top. There's one right there. Clear that out. Actually, let me do a different color. So you got a high point, a high point, and a high point. That's called a triple top, even on H4. It's not quite a head and shoulders, but the potential for this to come down is very strong. I like my chances. Let's squeeze this in. And look what we have. As I showed you earlier, we have old resistance becomes new support. But now I'm looking at something else on H4 where my potential support could be. So I'm building a case right there. That's probably about 1.80. 1.80 is my new potential support. It would have to break down below that to come down to this line. So if I break down, here's the 100. That moving average right there is your 100. H4 candle, moving average. So if it breaks down below, I think it will. And let me zoom in and show you where we're at. We have already breached that 100 on H4. So it had a monster move up, which caught me by surprise because I was fully expecting this bad boy to come down from this point. Get that off of there. I was fully expecting it to break down, and it just started running, and it creeps up on you, and it ran, and it ran, and it ran, and it ran, and it would not stop. It kept going, and I did not have stop loss. I was riding it out because I said, surely it's not going to keep going. You got to expect the unexpected. This pair is crazy. The pound pairs are crazy. They will knock you in the mouth. They will chop your head off in front of everybody. So you do not want to mess with them if you don't know what you're doing. You want to get on a slower moving pair like AJ or CJ and play your 10, 15 pips a day. But if you want a ride of your life, you play a pound pair. It will take you on a ride. Now, we are coming down. Let me see if I can get you guys in this real quick because it is dropping. I'm not going to chase it. I think it's going to bounce up a little bit first before it trails off. So we'll catch it on the next peak, and then we will get in on a sell. We're not going to buy it either because I think it's going to come down, but I don't want to necessarily get in right here because it could pop back up to 83.46, 83.50. You know, save your 8 to 10 pips. Let's just wait a little bit. I mean, if you want to get into it, that's your business. I can't stop you, but I think it'll come up a little bit first. So let's just be patient. All right, back to H4. So I think it'll break all the way back down, and then it'll break down like it should have done before. And that's what they're good at doing. When it should have done this, it runs like crazy, and then it'll come all the way down, and then it'll fall off. And it stopped everybody out. That was a monster stop hunt, bull trap, whatever you want to call it. It took everybody out. And then it's probably going to come down and fall off. We shall see. But I like my chances. All right. H1. Beautiful. Now we're starting to see something. Look at that. What are we under? Moving averages are powerful. Moving averages will help you maximize your profit once you learn how to use them. You don't need a lot of moving averages. You could just use the 5 and the 10 and maybe the 100 and 200. But the more moving averages you have, the more you can find support and resistance. Because I didn't even show you on the month chart why I felt we were going up when we opened April. Why did we go up? Well, let me go ahead and add one more moving average for you just so you can see, and then I'm going to come back. All right, this is the 34 simple moving average. Boom. Look at that. Came right down through the bottom of that April. So when April's monthly candle opened up, it went straight up. It was like sitting on support because we opened up right on the 34. So it's almost like, darn, you should have known that thing was going to go up first because it's sitting right on support. It's going to go up to resistance, and then it's going to come down. So shoulda, woulda, coulda. You learn and you follow the instructions. You trade based on the proper strategies every single trade. You've got to go through every progression time frame, month, week, day, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, 5 minute, 1 minute. Go through your progression every single time you look at a pair or chart. Why? Because it can change in an hour. 1 hour can turn things around and give it a whole new look. That's why you say, well, yesterday You said UJ was going up. Now you're saying it's going down. Yeah, because it changed overnight. Or an hour ago, the candles look different. Now they're telling me it's something else. Well, JRock, you're bipolar. Well, whatever. You want to make money? You better learn to interpret the charts when they move and they change hour to hour. You've got to stay on top of your game. I am not bipolar. I promise you that. All right. Now that that's out of the way. Confession time. All right. So we are now, I mean, just look how beautiful that is. If when I got into the move of GA, I put in a sell too early. Look at the 1 hour chart. When it ran up like crazy, those two candles straight up, I played the pullback. Well, I did sells up there and it did not pull back. You see my sells right in this area because I got in too early. Why? Because I played this pullback right here and it did not pull back. It traded sideways and held the 5 still, and it kept going, and it held the 5. Dummy, JRock, dummy. Why did you do it? Well, I was playing the reversal because of what I saw over here. If I squeeze that in and I go back over here, when it ran like that, it came all the way right back down. And that was, let's see, about 65 pips straight up. And then go back over here, it did the same thing. Went up, came right back down, and that was almost 100. If you look at this, where is that at? 82.70. Where did it go to? All the way up here, 83.70. That was 100 points up and down. That was 200 points. 100 up, 100 down. So I did not expect it, but look how quickly it shot up. 100 points, caught everybody by surprise. Here, the same thing. It shot up quickly and came back down. With this, it just moved up slowly. Well, not slowly. It's tacked on 50 points and then another 40 points. And then it traded sideways and tacked on another 30 or 40 points. So that was more of a progression move, but it held that 5, that light blue line, and then it pulled back to the 10. On the next day, it gapped down and then it ran up. That is today, actually. So it gapped down almost to the 10, ran up, but it hit that resistance area, so to speak. And now we are under the 5. And we're holding under the 5, and now we're under the 10. So the next candle, we may get a little sideways trading or a pop-up to the 5, and then we're going to drop off. That is my expectancy. Here's your 5 right there. So that is the expectancy, and then the 10 is going to come around. Well, we may trade sideways, we may pop up, and then we'll get down, and here's the 200 coming across. So we're going to find a little support on the 200. Didn't look like it found much here, so we may just plow through it. Boom. And then here's the 100. Didn't have much of that either over here. No stopping on the 1 hour time frame. So we may just, boop, plow through it. Come all the way back down here, may plow through that, maybe bounce up into the 200 or the 100, and then boop, we're going to come down. I'm hoping we go all the way down and make some money. So it's still kind of dropping off. I thought it'd bounce up a little bit. Let me see. It did bounce up a little bit there, but 35. I figured it'd go back up to maybe 40. And if it bounces up 10 pips, like to 40, 39 or 40 on the bid, then you can get in on a sell. You want to be patient. You don't want to be too quick to react because that's when you get in trouble. Patience, patience. The impatient trader pays the patient trader. All right. I'll be making new videos on this, on the moving averages. I'm actually moving over to a new platform, and I'm going to be using CTrader. So I'll be doing a video on that to teach you how to use CTrader. It is more advanced on the desktop than MetaTrader, but the mobile app leaves something to be desired currently. All right, little drop off there. So, like I said, you could take your chances if you want to get into a sell. I think it'll pop up. You know, if you want to get into a sell lightly here, maybe a 0.01 per thousand or 0.02. And then if it jumps up, then grab some more double or triple or whatever. Don't over leverage. If you do, you're going to get smoked. Put a stop loss at 1.8373. Let me just throw that on the screen for you. So if you're going to put a stop loss, put it up here at 1.83730. That is a stop loss. If you're going to get into the trade, I was figuring that it'd come back to about this level for you to get into a sell at 1.8340. Take profit, 1.830. So even if you get in now on a sell, you could probably make 30 pips as it falls to 1.83. So take profit, 1.83. All right. It's kind of what we're looking at. And should be good. All right. So that's enough of that on, well, let's go ahead. I'm going to look one more time on the 30-minute chart. The 30-minute and 1 hour are my go-to time frames because they follow the 5 and the 10 so perfectly when you get into a trend. I mean, just look at that. Exactly what I teach when I say it breaks above resistance. It'll hold the 5. First pullback is to the 10, which is your orange line. Then if it finds resistance and it starts breaking down, it'll get under the 5 and get under the 10. It'll drop to support. Then it'll bounce up to the 10. The first pullback is to the 10. Then it'll drop off. Second pullback is to the 20. I don't have the 20 on here. Let me just add it real quick. All right, so now we're under the 5, 10, and the 20 on the 30-minute time frame. 1 hour time frame, we got some confluence coming up with support. But like I said, you know, because you got the 20 and the 200 right here coming up, but we didn't really respect those when we ran up, so we may not respect them on the drop all the way back down. We could come all the way back down to 82. So if you want to do a take profit at 83, that's a safe bet because that's going to be right there in that area. But friend, I would just move my stop loss. So put in a stop loss and just move it down a little bit. Keep it about 20 points off or 10. I mean, if you want to get out at 83 and it doesn't bounce and it just keeps going down, well, get back in for a sell because that thing could be in for a ride all the way down to here, 82.13. That's another 100 points. I like my chances. So if you want to take profit at 83, that's fine. If it bounces back up, then you can get back in for the big drop down. But if it does not bounce and it just starts coming down, well, get back in lightly. Do not overtrade. All right. So that should be that to help you out. Now, let me look at another pair for you. Anybody got anything you need me to look at right away? GU, I figured that. All right, find GU right there. Going up. Let me look at the month time frame. Going up. So it's found support. It pulled back a little bit. Let's see, open, high, low, close. So we opened at 1.4022, so 40.22. The low is, so open, high, low. The low is the third number across the top of my screen. So open, high, low, close. So we went from 40.22 to 36.49. So that's going to be 36 and 22. So 58 points. So we came down 58 points right there. Let me clear that out, move that out of the way. 58 points, now we're going up. Where's resistance? Well, something that stands out to me on this chart right off the bat, I'm going to show you, is that right there. You've got lower candle wicks per month. So this could come to about right there. If I draw a line straight across, it's going to be about 1.4250 maybe. And then you've got the 50-month moving average right there. So let's go ahead and squeeze that in and get a good look. And I'm going to say we could probably come to about right there, maybe 142. That's 106 points up. We could go all the way up here. If we go all the way up here, we're going to put in new highs, 144.12, 315 points. I like my chances. I think that's good. So that means the pound is making waves against the U.S. dollar. What else is new? The week time frame. We don't have we don't have a lot of room up here to the 200-week moving average, 142.37. That's still 145 points up. So we could do that, go up and put in a wick and then drop. Let's see the overall look of things. It still looks really good. Looks like we're going to plow through that resistance. So the pound is making waves against the US dollar. Sure is, man. $1.40. Wow. $1.40. Ain't that an exchange rate? That's why the pound is so strong. US folk don't like to go to England. Their dollar's worth peanuts. All right. So day chart. Didn't come down very much. It's pushing up. But that's a strong day candle that happened last Friday. After it negated that big strong down candle last Thursday. So looks good. It's got to clear this. If it clears that Friday's high of 141.05, which is only 10 pips from now, but it looks like it's going up first to come back down, to tell you the truth, because we didn't wick very far down when we opened the session. We only, open in the low. So 40.88 to 40.80. So we only wicked down 8 pips when we open. So we may be going up first to come back down. We may go up another 10 or 15, and then we may come all the way down based on this chart, on the day chart. So now I'm getting conflicting signals with, I think that it may come down. It may not come all the way down to here. It may just come to here. So I would just have to wait and see. I like the chances of it going up, but it could come down first. So just want to be careful. Looking at the 4-hour chart, showing weakness. 4-hour chart doesn't look like it may hang in there. Looks like it may come down, but it powered up on Friday as the news came out that US dollar was not doing that good. And then traded sideways. Now we're in the new session, so we're still above all the moving averages. Could come down. 1-hour time frame, I said it could go up. That looks very strong on the 1-hour time frame, pushing up a little bit. It's above all the moving averages. It could rally. So now I'm getting a figure based on the 1-hour chart. We could rally. I would just keep a tight stop loss, 10 pips. Here's where I put my stop loss, right about there. 1.4089, or at the worst case scenario, 1.4085 would be right there. That'd be about eight pips down from where we're at. If it falls, I would get out. But I like my chances for it to potentially run further before it goes down. 30-minute time frame looks good for a run. May not be too far, but man, all that trading sideways on that hour chart, all that sideways trading, that tells me it's going to go up, really and truly, now that I think about it. That held that support that whole time. I'd take my chances for it to go up. All right. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. UJ, probably the opposite. And let me check back in on GA. Wow. Beautiful. All right. Wendy, it's looking good right now. So like our chances to keep going down. May pop up to touch that 5. So you might want to move your stop loss into profit. 1.8330. Oh, you've got some down at 1.8311, though, I think you said. So it's going to come down. We can wait it out. But you can lock your others in profit if you want to. I'd put the stop loss at 1.8335 if you've got any above that. But it may bounce back up to this 5-hour moving average right there, 1.8340, and then trail back off. So 15 points up and then come back down. Just to stay with the moving average. It may not go that far up. Like I said, just keep an eye on it. All right, UJ. I said monthly. The monthly looks like UJ is going to go up. It put in a higher wick than the last month. Plus, we're sitting on support, the 200-month moving average. But we have resistance right here overhead at the 5-period moving average, 108.25. What is the overall pattern looking like? Putting in a higher low. So it looks like we're uptrending. Looks like also that we're putting in a, watch this. That's a monster flag and pennant pattern. Where are we going to break out to? Potentially up there. We could break down to the 100 right there. All right. Putting in a higher low on the month time frame and finding support on the 200. So if this is any image right here, what do you think is going to happen next? We're going to probably go up here. Whoop. Put in a higher high. The only concern I have is if the U.S. government wants to still devalue that dollar, and then you've got to deal with this right here. What I'm seeing is that 5-period moving average coming down right there, and your 200 is coming across, and we just say, you know what, psych, and we come down to the 100. Everybody's thinking biotechnical analysis-wise, and they just drop the bottom out of it. So you want to keep a tight stop loss on that also. Do not be fooled. Currencies, you can make a lot of money trading them, but they are heavily moved by people with billions and billions and billions of dollars. So they're the players. You got to follow the smart money. If they're about to make a move, move with it. Don't get left in the dark or get blown out of the water. All right, now started a new week. So we held coming down from 113 on the week time frame. We came all the way down to 104 something. That's a big drop. That's almost 1,000 points. That's definitely 900 points right there. And now we're bouncing up. What does it look like on the week time frame? Well, we're back up on top of the 5 and the 10. We haven't been on top of the 5 and the 10 for how many weeks? Since December, middle of December. That's almost 4 months. And now we're sitting back on top of the 5 and the 10's coming around there. So what does that tell me? We're going up. U.S. dollar is going to rally. Could go to 109. So I like the chances on the week. We may pull back just a little bit. Let's go to the day chart. Oh, everybody said bad news on Friday. Sent it back down. It rallied hard, went up to 107.50, and then the bottom fell out on Friday. I said, come on, man. All that means it had to pull back to support. It got so far above the 5-period moving average on the day chart. So what are y'all crying about? Look where it's at right now. Do you see the price lines? Do the price lines show you anything on this chart? Looking at where the price line is right now and you scan back across the chart, does anybody see anything that stands out? Waiting on you. Anybody see what stands out looking back on that chart, UJ day chart, where the price line, the blue and red line are at right now? What do you see it doing? What is it? What's it at? What's the price line at? Talk to me. Get your fingers going. Thank you, Stefan. It's at support because of the previous candles right here. They closed right in this area. Our price line came down just below that. Support, support, support. Old resistance, new support. Plus, we're sitting on that 5. Plus, we've already navigated the 50-day moving average, which is this purple line. We've already plowed through it and then came back down to sit on support. So this was your breakaway candle. Old resistance becomes new support. Where are we going? Where is the U.S. dollar going based on this chart? Up. It is going to go up. If it comes down, they're going to manipulate it and stop hunt everybody. But you got the 10-period moving average right here at 106.50. That's only 37 points down. I like my chances. I like my chances for a monster rally on the U.S. dollar. If it does, it's okay. Put a tight stop loss. 106.40, even 50 points down. Give up some profit, but I don't think it's going to fall. I think it's going to rally. Let's go to H4. Wow. Now look at those. It held all the way up, held the 5. Now we started breaking down. We're below the 5. So the longer time frames determine direction. The shorter time frames determine what? Come on, talk to me. Your entry, a tighter entry. Thank you. Stay on the ball, my friend. You'll be there in no time. You want a tighter entry, you look at the lower time frame. So now we are somewhat at support, but I see the 34 sitting down here at 106.63. The 50 on H4 is sitting at 106.50. That'd be a good place to potentially, if it does hold this level right here, because you've got higher wicks that are taking place right now. So this candle right here had a wick about 106.76. This candle was a little bit higher. I could just put my crosshairs on it, open, high, low, close. So the low is 106.79. The low here, 106.76. So I'm 3 pips up. And now 106.83. So I'm another 3 pips up. So we're getting higher lows on the H4 time frame. So the potential for it to rally and break back up and just take off is very good right now. I'd even put a tight stop loss, but we're going to go down to the lower time frame. Looking good. Putting in a nice base of support right here at this level. And there's your 100 H1 moving average coming across. So we found support even on H1. Where was support at? Looking at H1, what major moving average does it have strong support on? Anybody know what that red line is? Talk to me. 200, thank you. CB, I don't know who you are, but you're on the ball. Thank you. Royal Cash, good job. Thank you, Brianna. Gonna make a master trader and a lot of money. The more you study and the more you put into it, you're gonna get out of it. So that found support up to 200. Then it got on top of everything. Now we've got support at the 100 potentially. It may not even touch it, just like it didn't touch the 200 right there. We may not touch it. We may just turn and rally. Let's go down 30-minute time frame. Well, there's your 200 on the 30-minute because it's the same as the 100 on the 1 hour. Because 30 minutes goes in an hour 2 times, 100 goes into 200 2 times. So the moving averages are the same across the 30-minute and 1 hour time frame. You just double the time and reduce the moving average. All right. Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Potential for this to rally, very strong. 15-minute time frame, it looks ugly on the 15-minute time frame. This is where they catch you. Found resistance right there, holding. The bottom could fall out, but where did I say it could go? 106.45, maybe 106.50, give or take. Yeah, we could drop. This looks ugly, but we could also take off too. I'd put a buy stop. I'd put a buy stop at 107.19 if you want to be real conservative. Right there, 107.20. If it breaks up above those, we're gone. So you're going to give up about 34 points just to be on the safe side. That's how you trade safely. All right. Let's look at the 5-minute time frame. Yep, still looks ugly, but it's kind of putting in bottoms right there, even though the liquidity is weak. So it still could come down a little bit, but I like my chances for the U.S. dollar to rally. I really do. U.S. dollar index also, don't have it on here, but it's all good. Let's take a look at, so we came down to 19, bounced up a little bit. We still didn't go up high on GA. We're still, potential for it to still keep coming down very good. All right. Let me go ahead and look and see. We had another request for, so UJEU. All right. EUEGH. I'm just going to do, I'm going to do 3 more because I am tired. I've been traveling and I need to get some rest before London. All right. So EU right here. EU is going to do the opposite of UJ because it is against the U.S. dollar. If I think the U.S. dollar is going to rally, then the euro is going to plummet. Here's the monthly time frame of EU. Man, this is a conflict in my spirit right now because it is sitting on the 5-month moving average, even though it's a red candle. This thing could pop. because we have pushed resistance at the 100 and 200 month moving average. The 100 is about to cross under the 200. We could break down. So if this breaks down, we're going to have a monster rally in the US dollar. But if this decides we are going to go up and plow through that resistance zone to 130, yeah, we could go up to 130. So if it plows up through that, we could go up to 130. If not, we drop all the way back on the EU. Well, probably to the, where could that come down to? We've already come to the 10 about right there, 115, and we've gone all the way up 122. We could come back to the 10 at least, 120. We could come back here at price support on those candles, 119. We could come down to the 50-month moving average, which would be about 116. Come down to the 20. I don't know if it'd come down that far. The euro is pretty strong against the US dollar. But if the US dollar starts making headwaves, it starts rallying, you know the rest of these are going to fall. Okay, I got you. I don't want to call it out. I don't know what Swipe Trades is saying. It's okay right now. Don't tell me. I'm going to tell you what I think. I haven't even looked at Swipe Trades. So I'm going to tell you what I think, and then we'll see what they say. If it compares to what I'm telling you, no worries. It's just confirmation. So the week time frame, euro could come down. We could come down to 121.88. That's a 100-point drop. So I think on the week time frame that we are going to come down because we're under the 5 and the 10. All right, let's go ahead and look at the day time frame. Yep. All right, so on the day time frame, it's sitting on top of the 5. We could bounce up. So we put in a lower wick to sit on the 5, and we're down here. We could bounce up. We could come all the way back up here, 123.30. So we could go up 60 points based on the day time frame because we're putting in, well, let's see what we got here. All right, so we got lower lows on the day time frame. So this is what I see. All right, so you got a top going across here, and then you put in a lower high, and then a higher high. But you got a lower low, and then a higher low, and now you got a lower low. So the potential that this goes up and puts in a lower high is pretty good. It may not drop off yet. So we may go up first based on the day time frame. H4, look at that 34 moving average though, but we're sitting on top of the 5. So we could go up first. We would have to plow through that 34 period moving average on H4 to make any headways. We could really do it. We put in multiple candle bottom on H4 time frame right here. Multiple candle bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 candles confirming a bottom. That's showing strength that we're put in a bottom, and now we're above the 5, the 10, and the 20. That tells me we could potentially rally on EU and go up. All right. H1 may pull back a little bit for entry before going up. We could come down to 122.56. Could be a buy limit on EU. I think they may have done a buy limit. I don't know. I'm just going to keep going, and then y'all let me know. Don't put it in the chat room, but we're going to see. So 122, this is what I'm seeing right here on my chart. Okay, so there's your 51-hour time moving average at 122.57, which also corresponds with these 2 candles right here in the middle of that peak that found resistance at the 34. So if I show you this right here, this is what I'm seeing. Those 2 candles right there. If you drag that across, whoop, I might be a little too high. about right there. That could correspond almost with the, that's still off a little bit, but you get the point, straight across. My finger's off a little bit. 122.57, 122.60 might be a good entry for a buy limit. It'll come down here, and then boom, we're going to go way up here. That is my guess to put in a higher high based on what I'm seeing now. Take that off. Let's see, 30-minute time frame. Based on this, we don't have much room to go down on the 30-minute time frame. I'm going to raise my buy limit to 122.65, and this is where I would say, you know what? Seeing this time frame, I'm just going to get in. That's where I'd get in, even though I know it would come down a little bit because I like to be early to the party. But it's all right. You guys can put in your buy limit and wait. I think that's what they're going to call. 122.67 probably the low because it's finding support on the 30-minute time frame on that yellow line, which is your 34-period moving average. So, and then on the 30-minute time frame, we got confluence right there at 122.56. So it could drop a quick drop and spike back up. You got confluence with your 50 and your 100-period moving average on the 30-minute time frame. Looks good. Okay. 15-minute time frame. Yep. That still looks good, like we're just putting in a higher low and we're finding support even though we're under the moving averages. I like my chances at 122, even on the 15-minute. We got the 100 and 200. I like my chances to come down to 122.57, 122.60, and then we're good to go. What say you guys? Let me look. Look at XAU. You're a genius. Huh? Is that so? Spot on. Oh, is that what they called then? Okay. Well, isn't that interesting? So they must be pretty good traders themselves. God bless Justin Adams and Wealthy Pips and Papa Smurf. Amen. Well, we'll see, my brother. We'll see. All right. So let me look at gold because that's a big one. And let me double check in on GA. GA still looks good. 15-minute time frame. Look at that. Holding under that 5 period. GA looks good for a drop off right here. I'd say get in a sell. I think it's going to drop down pretty good. We'll probably go to 83. All right. That being said, 30-minute time frame. GA still looks good. We're going to navigate right below that 4. It's starting to round that corner. Good drop off. XAU, let's find gold. Metals, metal, gold. XAU. And then I saw EG. I'm going to do one more after this. EG. All right. XAU. Month time frame. I've been saying that it's at resistance and it was probably going to drop off. I don't see it bring up, though it very well could. I think it'll drop off. You see my 1200 mark way down on the bottom. That's where I think gold will come to. And it's because of my trend line that if I do a trend line, let me just draw one. Oops. Boom. Boom. That is what I see. I think we could come down. Actually, that's a little bit too. There we go. So the potential for it to come down to 1200, I believe, is pretty good. And then bounce up. So it's not where it wicks, it's where the candles close. So that's what I'm seeing. And we're at major resistance. So we got a high point here. And if you look straight across, so we got a high point. There we go. And then we got a lower high right here. And then we're above the 100 right there. And then we're only wicking above the 100 right there. So it's showing weakness that it is going to drop off. And I think it'll come all the way down here, boom, and then it'll pop up. Gold could go to 2,000, give or take. go all the way back up. So we're going to find support, and then we're going to go all the way back up. Gold is going to gain value. The week time frame, showing support right there. Gold could pop up this week. It would really have to break down because you see where it started. It came down first, so gold may go up this week, 1354 on the week. It came down first. The longer time frames, it'll put in a lower wick. If it's going to go up, it's going to go down. It'll put in an upper wick. Yep, I think gold could go up this week. Day chart. Ugh. Now here's where your mind is going to change, because now on the day chart, I'm under the 10-day moving average and finding resistance, but I'm sitting on top of these others, 50, 20, 34, those other colorful lines in the middle there. Chances of us going down are good. We could come all the way down to right there. Oops. 13, 12 on the next couple of days. I don't think it's going to happen today, because if it did, it would put in a monster bearish engulfing candle, which means this candle would swallow up the body of that other candle if it comes way down like that. So that would be a bearish engulfing candle, because it opens way up here above that body. So that would mean that it's a bearish engulfing if it comes all the way down. I don't think it will happen, because it's very rare you get a bearish engulfing, but look at that candle right there. That is a bearish engulfing. Why? Because the body of this candle swallowed up the body of the previous candle. It's under. You can see it right there. All right, bearish engulfing. Plus you got this long wick right here, down, bounce up, down. I'm thinking we're going to go down. That's what I think is going to happen based on the day chart. Let's look at H4. Under the 54-hour moving average. Yep, we're probably going to trail off. Look at that monster bearish engulfing candle there. Swallowed up the last two candles. Must be a grizzly bear. It could pop up. It could pop up and close all the way up here and not be a bearish engulfing by the end of the session. So from 306 to 321, that's only about 15 points up. Man, take your chances. I'm not interested. 30-minute time frame. I skipped over the 1 hour time frame. Let's see. 1 hour time frame. Yeah, it could just drop off. It's really showing weakness right now. It's under the 200 1 hour moving average. I think we're going to go down. Chances of it popping up are decent, but I think overall we're going to go down. All right, EG. EG, slow mover. EG is coming down on the month. It's going to keep dropping. We got support down at 82, 89. That is 500 points. 400. Let's see, 83. Yeah, about 400 points down. So that'll take too long for me. Oh, we got some support going on the week chart. Got support right below at the 100-week moving average. So it could pop up. Day chart. We are at support on the day chart. So we're finding some support in this general area. It could pop up. That is a funky looking thing there. Let me just draw what I'm seeing. All right. So looks like we're getting, change colors here, lower lows and lower highs, but we're almost to a low. So it could come down a little bit before it pops up. There's your 200-week moving average rolling around there, so we may pop up to that point. May come down a little bit first and then pop up. I really don't see it. It could break down and just start trailing off. That's the day chart. It could break down and start trailing off. Looking like it would, but we're at support. H4. We're at a support level, but it looks like it's showing weakness. So if anything, put in a sell stop down here, 86.90. So if it drops off 17 points and hits that, it'll probably keep falling. 86.90. Probably keep going. 1 hour time frame. See, all that is support right there. Scroll back in time. We got a little bit of support down here. What's that? 86.85. So I don't know now if I would do 86.90. I would probably do 86.80. If it falls to that point, it's probably going to keep going. 86.80. So I'd lower my sell stop. I hope that makes sense to you. Got to analyze everything. 30-minute time frame. Putting in a support bottom, it could pop up first and then come down. Yeah. All right. Guys, I'm very tired at this moment. So, got a long week ahead of me. A lot of things are going on. GA still looking good to come on down. I would lower my stop loss if you guys are in it. Lower your stop loss to about, yeah, right there, 183, 183.38 on that stop loss to protect those profits if you got in a sell a little while ago, or I think it's still going to keep on coming down. So just make sure it doesn't run and get away from you. So I think I'm in the money on that one. Not a whole lot on this account. $100. That's all right. 105. That'll keep going. That'll probably be about 500 if this thing falls off another 20 or 30 points. So we'll be good. All right. That looks good. I know you guys have other pairs you want me to check. I just want to give you a good analysis of a few pairs and show you how it's done. I'm going to make some more videos, and this is recorded. I'm going to put it in the, once I upload it, I'll put it in there for you. I'll try to do it right now before I go to bed, and you guys can go back and look at it. But hopefully y'all are coming along and you're learning, you're progressing, you're seeing what a powerful opportunity this is to learn and grow and be a part of a phenomenon that is taking the globe. So I really appreciate it, and appreciate you all being on the call. I hope I'm blessing to you. God bless you all. Y'all have a wonderful night, and I will see y'all in the morning.